Thank you for joining me today. Unafraid Show, Reister or Wrong. It's your boy, George Reister here. Thank you guys for joining me. You know this is the Unafraid Show where we bring the truth, where we bring the heat, and we do not hold back because we are 100% unafraid. Thank you guys for joining me. I appreciate your time, appreciate your energy. Please make sure you like the feed, share the feed, continue the conversation, leave a comment. And also, if you have any questions, comments, anything like that, you can email us at unafraidshow@gmail.com. That's unafraidshow@gmail.com. So here's what we got on track for you guys today. We missed the last couple days because I was off spending some quality time with the wife. We went up to Napa. We had two funny stories from that. Also, I'm going to tell you why drafting Josh Rosen is smart. I'm going to tell you why drafting Josh Allen is dumb, why teachers should not have guns, NRATV is absolutely insane, and also there's a boxer. He was robbed of either in between $145,000 and $155,000 worth of cash and jewelry in a club. I mean, damn. So we got to get to that. But first up, I want to start with Josh Rosen. Josh Rosen, former UCLA player. He's now in the NBA draft. I'm sorry, in the NFL draft. He's at the combine right now, and there are so many people that are talking about Josh Rosen. What's going on with him? What is he doing? And why he should or should not be the first quarterback taken. Everybody knows, if you've seen my Twitter timeline, if you've seen anything like that, I'm all out on Josh Allen and I'm in on Josh Rosen. But I found it interesting, this Sports Illustrated article, what they said about Josh Rosen. So they said, number one, the person who wrote the article said that he's basically heard three things about Josh Rosen that I found pretty interesting. He said, number one, he's rich. He comes from an accomplished family. His mother's great-grandmother helped found the Wharton School of Business. His dad's an accomplished spinal surgeon. He doesn't need to play football. Like, he's rich. So how on earth can he be a great leader? How on earth can this man lead us? Because football can't be the most important thing for him because he came from money. Number two, he's a crappy leader. He questions authority, and his teammates roll his eyes at him. And number three, he's too smart for his own good. He's anti-Trump. He's into politics, cares about the planet. Quarterbacks need to be myopic, football only. And I'm just sitting here like, this is the most idiotic thing that I've read. Like, this is why football is antiquated. And sometimes some of the people running football teams, front offices and all that, you need like a youth movement, a makeover. Because I'm so confused, because I'm sitting here like, hold up. So you're saying that because Josh Rosen grew up with money, that he can't be good at football, that he can't be as good as Josh Allen from Wyoming. And I'm like, don't we care about the actual player? Like, don't we really care about how good you are at football? Because Josh Rosen's proven he's excellent at playing football. Excellent at playing football. Josh Allen has not proven that. And the thing that I got from it, so he comes from money, so he can't be good at football, or he can't want to play on the same level as some of these other people. And that got me to thinking. Because one thing that I learned from my time in the NFL and my time being around professional athletes and all this is, there are two types of people. There are people who work hard and there are people who don't work hard. It is not any indication of race, class, financial standing, none of that. It is about the individual person's character. That is what I've learned more than anything as an athlete. Like, you cannot base it upon somebody having money, because there are people who have money who work really hard, and there are people who don't have money and are lazy as hell. That's just the truth of the matter. So this idea that you have to come from humble beginnings, or you have to be come from struggle to be successful, is completely false. It's completely false. Yes, it can provide some motivation, but think about this. If you come from a family like LeBron James, who has money, Tom Brady, who has money, you come from a family like Bill Gates, who has money, like there's a certain level of expectation that comes from coming from a family like that. That comes from a family of affluence, but at the same time, there's expectations of greatness. There's expectation of greatness in the classroom. There's expectation of working hard, doing the right things, which imparts into your kids. So the idea that Josh Rosen won't be successful or can't be successful because he came from money is completely false. It's actually idiotic. So because a lot of these coaches, I mean, think about this line of reasoning. So that's saying the coaches who make hundreds of thousands of dollars, some of them make millions, so their kids can't be successful because they came from money or came from a more privileged background. I mean, come on. That's absolutely foolish. And crappy leader, blah, blah, blah. I've heard that, but I've also known kids that played at UCLA and they like him. Now, this is the point that I want to harp on just a little bit. Josh Rosen is too smart for his own good. He's anti-Trump. And he into politics, cares about the planet. Quarterbacks need to be myopic. Football only. It is absolutely stupid and asinine if you are a football team, you are a football club, for you want your players to have nothing going on outside of football, have no other interests. Think about this. Chris Long and Malcolm Butler, who were very involved in protests, getting the players to stop kneeling, all this stuff. They just won the Super Bowl. So it's not possible, right, that you can have other interests and still be great at your job. Look at Russell Wilson. He's involved with children's hospitals. He started his own clothing line. He's done all these amazing things. And he's still really good at football. Tom Brady, care about your body. Started TB12, NFL MVP, just went to the Super Bowl. He's got interests outside of football. Carson Wentz, his charity. Drew Brees, very involved with the military, our servicemen and women. Still one of the top 5 quarterbacks, Super Bowl winner. So the idea that you are supposed to be involved in nothing but football is stupid. And you want your quarterback to be an individual. Like, you want your athletes to be thinkers, be outside of the box, and not be confined to one single line of thinking. I mean, look at Clayton Kershaw. Imagine if somebody who's involved in charity work all over the world, he's got 4 centers, like one here in LA, one in Dallas, one in Africa, and one somewhere else, to help out people out in the world. He's a $300 million man, but he's not great because he cares too much about something else. No, man, the whole like shut up and dribble thing is absolutely stupid. It's absolutely stupid. And so the narrative that, I mean, I would actually argue that Josh Rosen will be a better football player and more motivated to be a great football player because he doesn't have to play football. He knows he doesn't have to play football to be successful out in the world because his parents have done it. So the fact that he's done it at a high level, put in work, guess what that means? That he's doing it because he loves it, because he wants to do it. It's faulty reasoning to think anything else. But then they'll sit up here and try to tell me that Josh Allen is going to be a great quarterback. Oh, they're like, oh my God, he doesn't come from money. He's built like a D-end. He's amazing. Look at him. He could throw the ball 90 yards. Yeah, but can he read a defense? Can he be accurate? The top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL are Tom Brady, Russell Wilson, Drew Brees, Ben Roethlisberger, and Aaron Rodgers. Those are the top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL. And none of them have the strongest arm in the whole world. But you're salivating over Josh Allen? He's going to get somebody fired. Josh Allen is literally going to get a GM fired. I've been saying this all draft time. They're in love with this kid, but when you look at his stats, like let's literally look at Josh Allen's stats for a second. I'm going to pull them up for you. When you look at some of these games against Nebraska, against Oregon, against Boise State, I mean, he was very unimpressive. He was very unimpressive. You can pull this up. Just Google Josh Allen stats. You can pull those numbers up yourself. Game by game stats. It's disgusting. The fact that this kid is getting this type of hype, and then you're trying to knock other people. I just don't buy it. I'm just not with it. I'm just not with it at all. There was a story, though, that absolutely scared the hell out of me. There was a story that absolutely scared the hell out of me, because anybody who's read my timeline, I do not think that teachers should have guns at all in classrooms. But this story further solidified my belief that teachers should not have guns. This lady named Diana Voletich, she is a social studies teacher at a middle school in Florida. She's a social studies teacher in a middle school in Florida, and she's running around teaching the kids. Well, actually, I'll go back. She hosts a podcast under a different name. She's 25 years old. She's been hosting a white nationalist podcast called Unapologetic. She calls herself Tina Dalovich. And she brags about inserting her views in a public school that she teaches at. And I'm just sitting there like, hold up. So I can't even imagine this crazy lady having a gun. Imagine her having a gun, being able to, she's in Florida. She gets into an altercation with a Muslim student who all Muslims need to be eradicated from the earth in her mind. Imagine her having a gun. She would magically some kind of time get in an altercation with a student, and it's going to be, I was standing my ground. Some little kid's going to be dead because of her hateful views. I'm just telling you, it's absolutely ridiculous what we are dealing with right now. And yes, I want to keep our kids safe in school. I want to do all these things. But like, let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. Like, am I the only person that believes that giving teachers guns is a bad idea? I can't be the only person, because I put it out on my timeline and people have rallied back in support and all this stuff. Because there are three basic things that can potentially happen from kids having guns at school. Number one, from there being guns at school. Number one, kids will inevitably end up with a gun. Like, kids will absolutely end up with a gun, regardless of whether somebody's trained to use it, somebody's not trained to use it. The kids are going to end up with a gun, because these kids are smart. They'll set you up. I mean, like, some of these badass kids, they'll set it up. They will find a way to get it done. And you can't leave the gun locked up in a closet, because these kids will find it if they know that they are there. And then the second thing is, I've heard, oh, well, we need to just train our teachers. We need to give them military training at bases. They are teachers. They're not servicemen and women. Yes, there are some servicemen and women who are teachers, but these people are teachers. They're supposed to teach, and asking them to be security on top of teaching is too much. Think about this. At the Parkland shooting in Florida, there was a sheriff there. He didn't run back in the building, and he signed up for this. So imagine asking a teacher to then turn around and provide gunfire and cover for kids. I mean, just really think about that. Bullets don't have names, and people get scared. Somebody's going to end up getting shot who's not supposed to be shot. So that's the second issue. And the third thing is that there are teachers who have mental health issues and shouldn't have weapons. Because I keep hearing, oh, we should give guns to teachers if they want them. What? Everybody who wants a gun should not have a gun. And especially with this lady in in Florida, this Volatich lady, 25-year-old, she's a social studies teacher, and she's teaching the kids that all Muslims should be eradicated and that'll stop terrorism, which is absolutely false. She teaches them that segregation is a good thing. I would argue that this lady is more dangerous than a gun on campus because she's affecting these young kids' minds and hearts. She's affecting it. So at the point in time that this lady is affecting our life, affecting kids going out in the community, what they think, what they believe, because they are impressionable from their teacher. Somebody just asked, so take guns away from the good people. All right, I'm a believer in the Second Amendment. I've owned guns, all these things. I've shot military weapons on military bases, all these things. Here is what I know out in life, and here's what I believe truly with my whole heart is that, yes, there are so many people who are responsible gun owners. However, we either have to find a way to keep the guns out of irresponsible people's hands. I'm talking about legally bought weapons out of irresponsible people's hands, or we have to find a way to, or we have to get rid of guns. I mean, there's not a whole lot of room in between. And this whole, well, if there are more guns, then everybody will be safer. That's a lie. That's the lie that the NRATV wants to sell you. I'm a gun owner. And and I recognize that that's a lie. Because there's not enough guns that would have stopped the shooting in Las Vegas. There's not enough guns that would stop other things. And the last thing I want is everybody to have a gun and concealed carry and all that stuff. The last thing I want is somebody drunk, somebody with alcohol in their system having a gun. Because you don't make good choices even if you're a quote unquote good person. That's just the truth. And the idea that we should give teachers guns is absolutely crazy. I mean, I just don't even understand why anybody thinks that that's a good idea. Kids are going to inevitably end up with them. There are teachers who aren't qualified to be teachers and they shouldn't be teachers and they shouldn't be gun owners, especially this lady here, Dana Volatich. And the idea that this lady is out here affecting the youth and being more dangerous than an actual gun is scary to me. It is absolutely scary because our children's minds are impressionable. They are. And there are other people who are impressionable as well. And I had an idea. Well, there's been so much talk about let's put military in the schools. Let's secure our schools. Let's get more guns in our schools. And then I'm sitting here like, time out. Time the hell out. We have, so there's money. There's money to give teachers training, to give teachers weapons, subsidies for weapons. There's money for all of this, but there's not money to get classroom sizes down. There's not money to give, to make our schools better. They're cutting funding for music, arts, all of this stuff. So there's not money for that, but there's money for guns. What? I mean, how does that make sense? How is there money for guns, but there's not money for books and computers and music and school and getting classroom size down? I mean, am I the only one that I can't be the only sane person here that realizes that that's BS, that's absolutely a load of crap. 79% of mass shootings are committed with guns that are acquired illegally, not legally. I don't know about that. I would have to see that stat, but I do know that the last few shootings, illegal guns. Oh, yes, I just got a comment in, and I'm so happy about it. There are areas like Chicago that have the strictest gun laws, and what happens there? The guns that come into Chicago, a lot of them that are acquired illegally were originally bought legally in other states like Indiana, like Arkansas, Alabama, other states that have very loose gun laws, and then they go resell them elsewhere. So they're bought legally originally and then sold illegally later. So there needs to be some federal system. There needs to be background checks, all of this stuff. Because if you are a person who's a quote unquote good person, who's a responsible gun owner, why on earth would you have a problem with going through a background check or even a mental health screening or anything like that? If you're a good person who's going to use a gun and you want to keep bad people with guns out of bad people's hands, why should you have a problem with that? I mean, come on, man. Absolutely craziness. Absolute craziness. And the other thing that's scary to me is this. I'm going to show you guys a clip in just a second because these NRATV videos are insane. If you have not seen these NRATV videos on Twitter, oh my God, your mind will be blown. And I'm a gun owner, and I'm a person who's shot guns and enjoy it. I took my 11, well, he's 12 years old now. My 12-year-old, he shot guns. So that lets you know where people know where I stand on this. However, at the same time, I 100% believe in the Second Amendment, but I also recognize that the UK, Japan, Australia, all don't have guns and they don't have this gun problem. And the other thing is that Germany has a ton of guns, but their killings are super low. So maybe we should take notes. Maybe we should find out what the hell is going on in Germany, because I'm going to tell you, these NRATV videos are absolutely insane. I'm going to show one to you in just a second, but you guys, make sure you guys leave a comment, share the feed, and email your questions or comments to unafraidshow@gmail.com. I'm George Reister, your man, showing you everything. But here's the NRA clip that is absolutely insane. Like, this is just one of them. Their videos are like propaganda for people who can't read. Here you go.
We've had enough of the lies, the sanctimony, the arrogance, the hatred, the pettiness, the fake news. We are done with your agenda to undermine voters' will and individual liberty in America. So to every lying member of the media, to every Hollywood phony, to the role model athletes who use their free speech to alter and undermine what our flag represents, to the politicians who would rather watch America burn than lose 1 ounce of their own personal power.
They're absolutely well shot. Absolutely well shot. You have to give them artistic credit for that. I'm just telling you, it is absolute craziness. It is absolute craziness. Check it out at our NRATV. If you have not ever seen it, be afraid. That's all I have to tell you. You will leave and you will be just all jacked up. Next thing up for today is Jermall Charlo. Jermall Charlo is a boxer, and Jermall Charlo, he just got robbed. He just got robbed of between $145,000 and $155,000 in cash and jewelry in a club. I think it was on Saturday night. And I'm gonna be honest, like I don't feel bad for him. I don't feel bad for him, because this was a foolish move. This is an absolute foolish move. This young man, I'm gonna call him a young man, is this young man, he was in a club. He got into a physical altercation. His assistant or somebody around him at 3 a.m. So this is when it happened, at 3 a.m. in New York. One of the assistants handed a woman a bag or left the bag on a seat and went to go be a part of the physical altercation. When they came back after the fight or the altercation, a bag containing $40,000 in cash and $115,000 worth of jewelry was gone. It was gone. And this got me to thinking. I'm like, we absolutely, like, speaking to black people, speaking to brown people, speaking to anybody or even white people, whoever's Young Money, because I was Young Money before too. Speaking to Young Money here, you have to, I know it's hard. I know it's hard to start thinking like old money when you're Young Money. But we absolutely have to start thinking like old money. Old money doesn't take $40,000 to the club, especially not when your last purse was like $300,000 as a boxer. Like we have to stop, get out of the mindset that we have to flaunt our wealth, that we have to flaunt all these things. We have to get out of that mindset because it's damaging to us. It's damaging to our life. We make poor choices when we do stuff like that. Because I'll tell you this. I am a guy, and because I understand how it happens. Because I'm a guy who I grew up, did not grow up with money. I went to some really nice schools, went to the Buckley School, went to FKCP, went to a bunch of good private schools. My parents found a way to get us there. They found the money, found scholarships, all this stuff to get us there, me and my sisters. And there's an element of when you see everybody, when you see other people around you having so much and you don't have that, what you want is you want to be able to have that, like, and you think from the outside looking in that money's going to solve all your problems and that these people are kind of showing their wealth. So when you get some money, you want to show it off a little bit. You want to say, hey, yo, I want everybody to know I'm balling. I want everybody to know I got it. I want everybody to know I'm that man. And the more and more I've gotten around, not just rich people, because NFL players, a lot of them, like the ones who make good money, are rich people. When I've gotten around more wealthy people and more ultra wealthy people, they don't flaunt their wealth the same way that Young Money does, like with the Migos, with the $50,000, $100,000 in cash as a phone. Like, they don't flaunt their wealth like that. They swipe their card. That's why they owe money. That's why you see so many rappers, actors, athletes, musicians, whether you're black, white, whatever color you are, being broke when they get done or their income changes because they're not thinking like old money. It's a mentality. It's a mentality because it's I didn't have it. Now I got to make sure everybody knows it. You're supposed to enjoy your stuff, but most people, most athletes, rappers, entertainers, all this stuff, because you get fast money. You don't understand how hard it is to make $100,000 out in the real world. The first time, so I was in the NFL. Yes, you'll see $100,000 checks every week sometimes, if you're fortunate enough to make that much money. But then you turn around and don't realize how hard it is to make $100,000 out in the real world. It is difficult, and you're doing good if you're making $100,000. Like you're not living on the street. You can drive a nice car. You can take a vacation. You can buy a house and all this stuff. But so many of these guys flaunting their wealth, they don't even own their own homes. They drive Bentleys, they drive Rolls Royces, they drive all this, but they don't have credit to buy a house. Like, this is just what it is. So we have to change our mentality, young people, because I get it. I was in that life. I was in that thing. And now we had a rapper today come out and say, 21 Savage, who's probably one of the more popular rappers right now. He's dating Amber Rose. He's got face tattoos. I'm kind of judgmental on face tattoos, just to be honest with you, because I feel like if you have face tattoos, you do a lot of drugs. Not just weed, you do a lot of drugs. Because I always wonder, like, what type of mind state do you have to be like, yo, I'm gonna tattoo my face. Like, I want to look at this tattoo on my face. On your body is different, but on your face, I want to tattoo this on my face. I feel like you're doing a lot of drugs. Maybe I'm getting old. Maybe I'm tripping. But that's just what I think. That's just what I feel. So 21 Savage said he's not wearing jewelry anymore. He's going to invest his money. And I'm like, I did not expect this. I did not expect this out of 21 Savage. I did not expect it. Because so many of these young cats, like, you want to show off. You want to be, everybody wants to be Floyd Mayweather. There's only one Floyd. And he's been in some difficult financial situations too, even after having money. He just owed the IRS $26 million. Like, come on. Like, come on in. You got to keep it real with this. And the kid, Jermall Charlo, who was in the club, left a bag with $40,000 and $115,000 in jewelry in a club, getting into a fight, and some chick took it. I'm like, that's kind of the thing that happens, because my first question is, why do you have jewelry in a bag that you don't have on? First of all. Second of all, if you're at a regular club, even if you're at a strip club, there's no need for $40,000. I know you want to show off. I know you want to do all this. No need for $40,000. If you're a boss, use your card. Bosses use their card. Bosses don't pay in cash. This is the truth. And this is coming from a person who used to carry $10,000, $20,000 in cash. Bosses don't carry cash. Bosses carry cards. Because places don't accept $10,000 in cash. They'll be like, nah, we don't want to carry that much cash. I mean, it's just absolute idiocy. It increases your risk, increases bad things happening, people robbing you, all this. Nah. Oh, well, how about 50 Cent? Well, 50 Cent's filing for bankruptcy. He uses money phones all the time. Yeah, but he still got money. Yeah, but you got money problems. Old money don't have money problems like that, because they take care of it. And we have to get out of this mindset, as especially like kids of color. Like, if you guys know a kid of color, adult of color, who's coming into some money or may, let them listen to this. Please share them with this. This is very important. You guys, do watch an Unafraid show, please swipe up, share the feed, like the feed, continue the conversation. Is, as a kid, like, when you come into money, right? I know you want to show it off. I know all these things, but it's mental. We have to change our mentality from wanting to flaunt our wealth right now, as opposed to change our family and generations' life. We can do that by investing, not worrying about that quick money, owning property, owning things. Like, we have to change our mentality about that. And then after you get yourself stable and set and all that, then you can do more extravagant things. Once you get your passive income up. And then the other thing that we have to be willing to change our mindset about is about how we look at each other. Because how many times have you guys out there heard Russell Wilson being called, he's like a white boy? How many times have we heard Carlton from Fresh Prince, he's acting white, he's this, he's that. Why don't you be more black? And I always ask, why does being black or Mexican or any of these things have to be associated with the most negative things in the world? You're supposed to be educated. You're supposed to read books. You're supposed to do great things out in the world. That's not acting white. That's not acting black. That's not acting. It is being a civilized human being that's trying to do great things out in the world. Look at the people that you look up to. Think about this. Look at Jay-Z. Look at Snoop. Look at Drake. Look at Ludacris. Look at Dr. Dre. These are people who came out, except for Drake. But these are people who came out the hood. A lot of them sold drugs. A lot of them did all this other stuff. But then now, what are they? They're corporate America. They're trying to do great things out in the world. So you have to be willing to leave that old lifestyle behind and bring the other people up with you who want to come. So you're not forgetting about where you came from. You're just evolving into something new, into something better. And if people don't want to come along with that, then you have to be willing to leave them behind, because there are going to be a lot of people who want better than their circumstance. So if you want better than your circumstance, why are you trying to sit in the same thing? I mean, we're failing in that area. I mean, let's really think about it. So let's look at a couple rappers. Like, okay, yeah, let's look at Migos putting up money phones right now. Yeah, they balling, they're on top right now, they're doing all that. But are they really doing the right things to have old money? I mean, look at Jay-Z, like I said, Snoop, Dr. Dre, Ludacris, Drake. What are they doing? Investing. They are buying property. They are partnering. They're going to go pick the brains of Warren Buffett. That's what LeBron James is doing. They're getting around other smart people to do great things. We got to get out of this new money mentality, man. Got to get out of the show me, show me, show me. Let's get it. Yeah. I'll show you when I pull out this black card. Yeah. You can pull out $100,000. But yeah, guess what? I got more power with this, homie. Try buying a plane ticket with this. Try renting a jet with this. Get your credit up, man. Jay-Z told y'all, I'm telling y'all too. You guys, thank you guys for joining me today. Unafraid Show, right or wrong. We covered all kind of stuff today. We covered Sports Illustrated article about some NFL personnel having concerns about Josh Rosen's ability to be a successful NFL quarterback because he comes from money and is too smart, which is idiocy. But then Josh Allen, he's going to turn around and get a GM fired if they pick him in the top 10. Boxer Jermall Charlo was robbed of $145,000 in cash and jewelry in a club. We have to get out of this mindset. Get out of this mindset. And the article about the teacher in Florida, I'm further convinced that we should not have teachers carry guns. And NRATV is absolutely scary. Scary, and it's insane. You guys, thank you guys for joining me today. Please download the feed, download the podcast, all these things. I appreciate you joining me. Peace out. We'll catch you guys later.